This is Sai Fanindra from SQL School, and I assure you, complete practical, 100% technical, practical insight into our beautiful, very useful Azure Data Engineer course. And this course includes a certification guidance for DP200 and 201 certification exams. Come on, let's get started. Let's get into the actual concepts on box number 7, Azure Data Engineer. Let's understand what is Azure, what is data engineering, and what are our daily job roles, what we are supposed to do. Box 7. And the difference between Azure Data Engineer and Azure BI, the implementation models. Yes, this particular course is into box number 7 for 6 weeks, 1.5 month course. The same curriculum, either live, online, or on-demand videos, the same course, the same plan, the same examples, and the same curriculum. Carefully aligned with respect to DP200, designing Azure data solutions. We would be involved in designing of data storage, and we say batch processing and ETL components with the data factory and Databricks, and security, storage standards, design activities, and the actual engineering part, implementation of the storage and security, implementation of batch processing, here design and here develop batch processing activities with data factory and Databricks, with clusters, notebooks, jobs, pipelines, etc. Streaming solutions, stream analytics, and we have various storage activities like Azure Blob, Data Lake, Synapse, Cosmos, and Alerts with log analytics. Monitoring activities and notifications and event hubs and IoT we call, Internet of Things, and live tracking operations. So as a data engineer, our major role or the responsibility would be to plan the data storage and to make sure the end users are able to access the business data as and when required. Something like this. They click on something and something else will be reported automatically. And sometimes you may need to work with the live data, something like this on the screen. It's a live motion picture or live tracking activities. This is basically a Power BI report, but the backend actual data platform would be designed, implemented, and maintained by us, we people, Azure data engineers and Azure BI developers. So our course, the Azure Data Engineer, is planned for 6 weeks, right from the basics of Azure to fundamentals. We have something called Active Directory concepts, and we have Azure SQL database migrations. We need to practice thoroughly ADF, Azure Data Factory, for ETL and pipelines, Synapse, data warehousing components. Need to work with and getting strong fundamental knowledge on blob storage, tables, queues, file share using virtual machines, data lake storage and analytics with USQL jobs, Databricks with pipelines and notebooks, stream analytics for live data storage, Cosmos for big data storage, and additionally, if you wish to, you may opt for the SQL Server TSQL queries course and extend your learning with Power BI. Finally comes the end-to-end implementation, end-to-end project work. With this information, so plan A, core data engineer, and plan B, SQL and then data engineer, or plan C, these two plus additionally we have the Power BI, the actual cream on your Azure data engineering cake. Yes, in our course, we'll start from the fundamentals, lab configurations and the basics, and then migration, security, then ADF and Synapse, ETL and data warehousing. We need to work with storage, big data storage and analytics, document databases, ETL and analytics, and Databricks, again for storage, ETL, analytics, and stream analytics as well. Everywhere we need to work with the Power BI integrations. How to use each of these great technologies with Power BI. It's part of this particular box number 7 data engineer course. However, for more insight into Power BI, you may opt for the plan C. And you would be receiving the document that contains the highlights on what we are going to get from this course, right from the fundamentals to migration concepts, data factory, storage, stream analytics, Databricks, Cosmos, and end-to-end implementation activities. The detailed document, the detailed course curriculum to be sent to you on email. The chapter-wise content. And from Microsoft website, you got this prototype model. Especially this particular information, the right side of the screen. So as per the Microsoft Azure Business Intelligence, as per the Microsoft Azure BI, the data engineer technologies that includes a data factory, and then comes the data lake, and here it is, friends, on the screen from the Microsoft azure.microsoft.com, data factory, data lake storage, Databricks for pipelines preparation and training, and from there comes Power BI, Cosmos, Synapse. So our data engineering course involves the end-to-end implementation cycle until here, the workflow activities. Number 7. However, you are looking for something more experience level and more insights, more workflow operations, then you have the outer box number 10. Here it is. That includes analysis services on top of Microsoft Business Intelligence, MSBI to Azure Analysis, Power BI in cloud and on-premise, and design of web applications with respect to Power BI embedded, we call. Embedding Power BI inside Azure, sharing Power BI reports to outside public users who have Power BI embedded. So it is basically box 7 inside, box 10 outside. Back to our screen once again, the same information, part of your notes from the demo class. It would be available to you as while you are accessing the class, you'll be given the required information. You'll be able to access this particular sheet. So here we go. Back to my screen. So you have box 7 and overall 10. Now let's understand what is Azure and why we require it. Let's go ahead step by step slowly. Well, on my screen, let's understand what is cloud. Well, cloud, a platform to ensure 24/7 secured access to your data. Cloud, for example, let's put this way. You had a mobile now. You had a mobile and you would like to save the contact number of Mr. Sai, your trainer, for doubts, clarifications, job support, and other things. You can save it into your phone. It gets synced with your iCloud or Samsung Cloud or whatever. So that in future, you would like to get it from a different device, you can easily because it's stored in cloud, right? You are syncing your contacts with other device, a new mobile later in future. You can get it back. You're having access to that contact information now because you synced with cloud. So cloud is a remote storage environment. We can access the storage data either from browser or using browser. Like for example, you have SQL Server in Azure to store and securely access databases and warehouses called Synapse, as well as using few specific tools like for example Azure Data Studio. There is a tool called Azure Data Studio tool that would be involved in, that will be used to operate on the servers and database and other components. There are multiple other tools in our journey. This is just one out of them. So either using free tools from Microsoft or by using the browser, we can work with the remote storage environment cloud. So why to go for cloud? Why not we stay back in on-premise? On-premise mean, let me just write my terminology here. On-premise mean non-cloud, physical, like your company's data center. Yes, if you go for cloud, rather than storing your contact information in your SIM card, in your SIM, mobile SIM, you sync with cloud. Advantage, no longer need to worry about the device, no longer need to worry about the wear and tear, no longer need to worry about some possible missing activity or some other type of repair or destruction to my device. It's cloud. And here it is. What about security? Yes, we are coming there now. We pay more, we get more security. No physical infrastructure is involved. Hence, comparatively less maintenance overhead. We pay per month, we pay per year, we pay per few years, license, etc. There are good options and need not worry about possible data loss at all. Microsoft guarantees us, or even whatever cloud provider you go for, be it either Google or Alibaba or Azure or any cloud of your choice, even Salesforce cloud, etc. They give us utmost guarantee in return. No data loss. We are safe. No physical network is involved. It's all about virtual networks, virtual private networks. Virtual storage is involved, no physical storage. Need not worry about catastrophic failures or magnetic or electric issues involved in the storage. Easy security and threat management. Automated service pack operations. It's all about easy to use, easy to work with open source platforms including Spark, NoSQL, and KQL, Custom Query Language, and so on. Part of our course. Coming to the Azure Data Engineer job profile, that include storage, maintenance, optimization, security, and end user access. With ETL, extract, transform, and load. There are three popular cloud providers as of now: Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud Platform, and AWS, Amazon Web Services. And out of these three, prefer to go for Azure, that has got the caliber, capacity to host and secure any type of data, and host and access any type of application, data structured, unstructured. In our Azure data engineering course, we need to understand how to store structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data, and big data. How to optimize the storage and how to work with extract, transform, load activities, sharing the data, and performing the analytics for end users. Analytics are kind of reporting. So prefer to go for Azure if you are looking for something comparatively cheaper, lesser TCO, lesser cost of ownership, total cost of ownership, highly secure, easy integration, communication, and suits Windows and non-Windows platforms. As you know, Microsoft is known for its user-friendly features. And in our data engineering course, we need to learn, practically understand, practically involved in three different implementations: SAS, PaaS, and IaaS. For example, in our Azure storage, we'll talk about something called files, file share. When we go for file share, we need to have something called VMs, virtual machines. And again, Databricks. Again in Databricks, for the purpose of additional security for ETL pipelines and jobs, yes, we need to configure virtual machines. We have notebook operations, ADB notebook operations. So few examples with Python, Spark, etc. They require, say, infrastructure as a service, IaaS we call, VM, virtual machines. For majority operations, we work with SAS and PaaS, software as a service, 100% cloud, platform as a service, 80% cloud, and 20% non-cloud. Here we go. We'll be taking it. So SAS, 100% cloud, PaaS, mostly cloud and partially non-cloud activities. Next. So no worries much about these implementation plans. We'll be taking them slowly, step by step in our course anyway. So what we actually do as a data engineer? Yes, we would be involved in planning and designing the Azure data storage solutions, manage and develop data processing in Azure. So processing involves something called as pipelines. Technically, please by heart these terms to start our practice very soon from the next class, from the beginning. Pipelines, jobs, and we have data sets and ETL operations. Optimize, the tuning operations, secured data storage, and we have big data analytics and data cleansing activities involved in decomposition, staging, and optimization techniques. And also, it's all about encryption operations. It's all about encryption operations and perform big data analytics using various data clusters, big data clusters, Spark cluster, Hadoop clusters, part of our course. It is really bit vast, but should be very useful for our actual technical journey and resume for our job work. For only one reason, we will be doing it practically, step by step. It's more complete into practice. No PPTs, no slideshows, completely practice based. So for this, we need to have certain requirements as well. We'll go there, the prerequisites one by one. So what we actually learn, the next item, we need to learn and practice, get involved in unstructured data storage, structured data storage, ETL and data ingestions, we say import, export operations, and data lake analytics, data bricks analytics, and stream analytics, more into reporting activities. So remember, our main job role would be all about storage, different types of storage, ETL, and finally it's all about analytics. So storage, ETL, analytics. Wherever required, we need to have optimizations and security also. So total there are 9 different great technologies we need to learn. And then finally, we need to have an end-to-end project implementation. Yes, an end-to-end project implementation that includes a communication pipeline workflow with all different components put together. I mean, the implementation work line actually goes in this way. Here we go. So we will be learning the yellow box to orange box to dark orange and dark red, and integrating everything with data factory and loading the data into Synapse. What next? From here to Power BI. So keeping in mind our resume, we'll be having the required project work and resume points that suits our existing skill set. We have different projects like vehicle tracking system and e-commerce, and you got options with and without Power BI in your resume as per your choice. Next. So back to our screen again, the notes. So these 9 different technologies, they actually work together. None of them are competing to each other. They're all good friends. We need to make them how to work together slowly. And from here, the extra takeaway, we have certification guidance for AZ900, Azure Fundamentals, DP900 exam, Azure Data Engineer Fundamentals, DP200 Data Solution Implementation, 201 Designing the Data Solution, Azure Data Solutions. So our course is planned for justifying the requirements for all these 4 exams in addition to my complete guidance. And for few reasons, like for example, Synapse and Stream Analytics, back, Synapse, and one more called Stream Analytics. Here you go on my screen. For these reasons, Synapse, Stream Analytics, and other activities, yes, we need to have prior knowledge of SQL Server. The basic knowledge of SQL Server is very much required to get started. So with this information, back to my courses plan once again and on the screen. So we need to have some knowledge on box 1, constraints, joins and queries. It should be fine to step into box number 7. So just to recompile once again, as a data engineer, we are involved in number 1, storage, number 2, security, number 3, tuning, number 4, transformations. We say ETL, extract, transform and load. So it's all about storage and security, tuning, making your data run faster, making your databases or the files respond faster, optimization. Simply put in rhyming terms, for easy understanding, as a data engineer, we would be involved in storage and security, tuning and transformations. And 6 weeks duration plus project work, either you opt for the live online or on-demand video, the same curriculum and the same schedules. I mean the same curriculum and the same examples throughout the course. So to enjoy this carefully step by step, we request you to have Windows 7 or higher operating system with you. You would be installing the tools. You'll be installing few specific tools to get started, and you need to have, you're requested to have a credit card to activate your free trial. Yes, for our course, we need to make sure we practice a lot. So for this reason, we request you to have a credit card to activate your own free trial. With this information, let's have the complete synopsis on whatever we learned so far till date on my screen. Yes, here it is. We understood about what is Azure and what we do at our job desk. And from the next class, we are going to learn the Azure fundamentals, then get into Azure SQL Server and database concepts, then slowly move on to migrations with various tools for migrations and access controls. Very important fundamental concept, Active Directory, functions, data share, PowerShell and key vaults. We'll be taking all the Azure fundamentals first. Then slowly get into our Azure concepts. All the storage, ETL and analytics technologies. And the certification guidance for fundamentals, Azure fundamentals and data engineer fundamentals. Then implementing solutions, designing solutions. You may opt for this live or you can go for on-demand videos. Next, the final piece. Yes, for our actual classes, we need to have our own computers, and in the next journey, we need to have SQL Server and SQL Server Management Studio tools in your computer. To get started, we would be configuring Azure Data Studio and other tools and slowly get into the Azure environment, server, database, Synapse, Factory, Bricks, Cosmos and other things slowly one by one. Just an overview of what we are going to learn. So your computer, your tools and Azure cloud environment, the hosting activities. So your computer needs to have Windows 8, say Windows 7, at least Windows 7 or higher operating system to get ourselves started. With this, we'll stop for now, and any clarifications or questions, you're always welcome. Once again, I promise you on the technical quality of our training sessions with chapter wise mock tests, completely example based, right from the ADF to Synapse and end-to-end implementations and Power BI integrations, and good amount of examples on various data storage platforms like USQL and NoSQL and Python, SQL, Scala, etc. We need not really be a pro in Python to get into the course. We'll be taking from the scratch, and whatever is required for Python is part of this course for data engineer. If in case you are looking for Azure developer activities, I repeat, Azure developer, the Azure developer activities AZ203, Azure developer age at 203, it may require more or in-depth knowledge on Python. For data engineers, whatever we get in this course should be fine, pretty sure. And why we require Python? Yes, Python is required mainly for ETL operations. We'll be understanding how to make use of Python for data access, data storage. We have something called data frames, ETL components. So no worries. I assume we are very new to Azure, very new to these concepts. We'll take it from the scratch. Yes, make sure we practice on time throughout the course. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Thank you once again. See you soon in our actual classes. Thank you once again.